Hey y'all, Heather here. So today we are going to talk about how in the heck do you decide what you are going to sell online. There are a lot of different ways to go about it, but I've kind of narrowed it down to the key 5 things. So if you're watching this live and you have a comment, just go ahead, jump in, and I would love to hear what you think. But let's go and dive into this a little bit again. So my name is Heather, and I help product-based businesses grow their and sell online. And one of the things that is the first question that people ask if they're just starting out is, how do I know if my product is a good idea? And how do I ever decide what to sell? What do I do? So I have 5 things. All right. These are the 5 ways on how to decide what to sell. The first way is that you need to determine if there is a market for your product. And I know that sounds like common sense, but you would be surprised. So let's break this down and see how you do this. All right, so you need to determine, is there an actual need for your product in the marketplace? So one way to do that is, do you know who your customer that is going to be purchasing your product is? Like, who is actually buying it? So I came across, there's somebody in this group actually, and if you're not part of the How to Sell Products Online, I highly encourage you to join this Facebook group because it is amazing and awesome. So there's a member of this group, and she sells subscription boxes, and several of them are coffee based, and she put these boxes together, and one of the comments and the reviews that come up consistently is how amazing her coffee mug is. And it's got like a different kind, and everybody just totally loves it. So she, when she was doing research for her subscription box, really dove into and understood like what's really important. If somebody's going to buy someone else, a box, what are things that are going to go into this box that it's going to really be the make or break for them. And if you are a coffee lover, you want to love the cup that you're drinking it out of, especially like if it's a travel one, which hers is. So she understood completely the person who is going to be consuming the gift and the person who's going to be buying it. So that's your first thing, is determine if there's a market for your product. Another good example of this is y'all see lots of the dog subscription boxes, right? So yes, there is a huge market for that because people love their pets. I mean, I have 2. I love mine to death. And one of the things you need to know is, okay, yes, there's a market for this, but what you have to figure out is, how are you going to improve on the market or make it different, right? So that's the thing that you want to, that's coming down the pipeline. So number 1, determine if there is a market for your product. Number 2, you need to learn who your competition is. You need to know them. You need to stalk them. So if you came up with an idea that was inspired by somebody else, let's go back to the dog boxes, for instance. Let's say you were inspired because you've seen a lot of the dog boxes, but there's something in there that's missing, and you want to add this key ingredient to the dog boxes. That is so you were inspired by another company, right? So you want to stalk the hell out of them. You want to know everything about that company and how their products are. You even want to order something from them so you can experience the whole journey from beginning to end, from the customer experience all the way to the unboxing and, quite frankly, to using the product. So this is how you can figure out kind of all the things that are wrong with how they're doing things. And that is huge, y'all. That's something that you can turn into a competitive advantage. So second thing is, learn who your competition is and stalk them in a positive way. All right, number 3, what makes your product better or different that's currently in the market? So I'm going to use this dog box example again. And actually, we could even use the example of the coffee box. But in the dog box, I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but these boxes have evolved through the years, right? First, it was like you got some kind of toy and a treat. And then people started adding kind of an accessory, right? So you got a toy and a treat and, maybe a bow tie or some kind of bandana. So that has now fast forwarded because I came across one, And they've now included collars and leashes. That's what makes them different. And actually, it's kind of really cute. So they send out boxes. They're not subscription; they're just a box. But the thing that makes them different is that you can get a coordinating collar and leash, and these are darling, designs. So they figured out what they wanted, what space they wanted to be in, and then what makes them different. Well, I searched high and low, and I couldn't find anybody else who did dog boxes that had included a leash and a collar. So that's what makes them different. And that's super, super cool. Along with, we'll go back to the coffee box. So the coffee box, what makes that better and different is her amazing mug. It's a travel mug. It fits easily in the car, but it looks cool. And it's not like the traditional old coffee mug. So, the travel one. So it is, find out what makes you better and different. When I had my throw pillow company, the thing that made us different was our designs. We did hand-drawn and hand-painted designs that we turned, into digital. So everything was literally unique, right? So every single time we did a design, there is an artist that was behind it that was creating it. And so that is what made us special and unique. I mean, we'd had just gorgeous designs. And, that was the thing that customers time and time again loved, because they could get something that wasn't, just like out at Target, right? It was a thing that made it different. That was our differentiator. So the concept behind that was that we wanted to have beautiful design that was affordable for everyone. And that's actually how I ended up getting the name for the company. That's in a story for another day. Okay, so let's review these, right? Number one, determine if there is a market for your product. Number two, who is your competition? Number three, what makes your product better or different than what's currently in the marketplace? And then number four, can you make your product as cost effectively or better than your competition? It's not enough anymore, guys, just to have a really great idea. In the last 2 years, consumers I think they've gotten so much smarter. I mean, with the pandemic and everything, so many more people were shopping online. And as a result, as suppliers and vendors, we've got to keep up and we've got to stay ahead of the game, right? So I think that it's not enough now to just have an amazing idea and an amazing product. You need to be able to do it so that you are in the competitive space and that you are priced right? I mean, as much as I love that little box with the leash and the collar, if it is outrageously expensive, I'm not going to buy it. Like, I'm just not, right? So price does matter. You have to make sure that you can create your products or source your products in a way that makes them competitive in the marketplace when it comes to pricing. And that's huge. So how do you know that? Well, there's some good old research, right? You just want to kind of go out there and you want to research. You can usually tell if a retail of something is $100, then, your all-in wholesale cost, that's all in when you've counted everything, is probably $50, right? So it's things like that you want to make sure that if your $100 retail is, $45 higher than everybody else's, then that's not a way to go, right? So you want to make sure that you've done your research and you can tell that in this space, you can create your product affordably. Okay, and now number 5, the last thing is you want to make sure you can easily source and replenish your inventory. It won't do you any good if you have an amazing product, but you never can have it in stock. You'll just lose sales. I mean, anytime your quote unquote shelf is sitting empty, you're losing dollars. Like, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that you are remaining in stock so that you can easily and effectively continually replenish those products. Once you find an amazing product, you don't want to just have it be a one and done. You want to, leverage that, because that's what gets you up in the search ranks, right? That's what makes Google find you. That's what makes Etsy find you. It's what Wayfair finds you. If you're running out of stock, they're not going to find you. So it's really, really important to make sure that you source product that can be easily replenished. Okay, so lots to unpack here. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to run through it one more time. I'm going to have a quick wrap up. So, number 1, how do I know if my product is a good idea? Number 2, determine if there is a market for your product. 3, learn who your competition is. Know them better than you know yourself. Number 4, what makes your product better or different? Can you make it as cost effectively as your competition? And can you easily source or replenish it? So if you have enjoyed this video, you felt like you've learned something, do me a favor. Number 1, like it. Number 2, comment below. And then number 3, if you still have more questions, click one of the links below and we can jump in a call and I can talk about how I can help you decide what to sell. All right, y'all. See you later. Bye.